Hey, this is Mike. Thank you so much for choosing this video. Today I'm in Wilmington, North Carolina, visiting Parkway Subaru, and I'm checking out a 2026 Subaru Outback in the Touring XT trim level. This vehicle is sitting on two 25/55 Bridgestone tires wrapped around 19-inch alloy wheels with a gloss black finish. It also has four-wheel disc brakes with ventilated rotors on all four wheels. The name of this color is Deep Emerald Green Pearl. And this is an optional ad on the vehicle. So I think it's a $400 ad. Looks really good on this style of vehicle anyway. So it's a deep green, as the name implies. It looks really good. Hopefully you can pick it up on camera. But yeah, very impressive. Especially at first glance, it just catches your eye because it's unique. A lot of other vehicles don't have this nice deep green. So here on the front, it's mostly a matte black, not a lot of gloss black. There is some gloss black here around the emblem, but everything else is a matte black. The camera is here in the very center, integrated nicely, and you can see it has a lot of styling incorporated into the vehicle. So you can see it has like these little bolsters here on the side, and it has these little things right here, and it has like little airflow there and little notches there on the side, and they're trying to, basically put a lot of character into the Outback. Now the headlights are a projector LED system for your high and low beams, and then the fog lights is a reflector LED. And then, of course, you have the LED daytime running lights and stuff like that. So yeah, looking good up here. And I will hopefully in the future have a night video showing you how well the headlights perform and the interior and exterior lighting of the vehicle. Looking at the profile, you can see that cladding is here on the side. It's all matte black here on the base of the doors, around the wheel wells and everything. And then they maintain that flat black with the pillars there, the roof rails, and pretty much everything here on the side except for the side mirrors, and there's a little bit of gloss black going on back there. Now, you can see even the pillar there is matte black, so it doesn't really blend in with the glass, but it still looks pretty good. You can definitely tell it's a Subaru Outback. It has that style. They're maintaining that style. This is what the key looks like, and it's a full proximity key. And Subaru's used this key for a while now. So I actually have a video showing you how to take it apart and replace the battery and stuff if you want to check that out. But it has the lock, unlock, which is the Subaru button right here, the ability to open up the power lift gate, and a panic button. Let's go ahead and hit the panic button. It sounds pretty good. All right, so using the vehicle, or using the key, you can use the vehicle 100% using the proximity system. So with your key in your pocket, in a bag, or whatever, to lock the doors, you just place your finger over this little sensor indicated by these little dimples. Put your hand there, it's gonna be your hand or whatever, like that. And then so it'll lock the door. It actually powerful, the side mirrors have that setting turned on. To unlock it, you simply put your hand behind the handle, and it has a sensor back here. It senses the key on the outside of the door and opens up the door for you. There's also a physical key location here on the driver's side only. Most of this threshold is covered with the door. It doesn't go all the way to the bottom of the vehicle, but it does cover up this section right here. So right in here is going to be relatively clean. And there's a little rubber seal underneath here, right here as well. So if you're going off-roading or dust or whatever, keeps this area relatively clean. Now the inside of the door, check it out. Look at that brown interior. This is a soft touch material here and here, and then you have this is all soft touch as well. So all this is soft touch here at the very top, soft, and then you have the hard touch surfaces here at the bottom. This is enclosed, so you can utilize that as a pocket if you want to. And then this is your compartment here, but you notice it goes in here a little ways, and then it has this large area for a water bottle or whatever. But this is kind of like a baseball, not a baseball, but a tennis ball type material, like a felt material there on the inside. It has like a brushed aluminum look here. Has the Harman Kardon sound system. So there's no fancy seal plate or anything, but look at that. Just the entrance entering and exiting the vehicle, it's just plenty of room here. Now the seats are powered here on the passenger side. You can go up, down, tilt the back, forward and back, of course. So this is a Napa leather seating surface. And you notice here at the bottom, it has a cloth. So that meets up with this hard plastic, so it's more supple and protects the seats. And then you have the black there, some stitching, and then you have the Napa leather in brown. And these are heated and ventilated seats. You can see the perforations there and looking good. The bolsters are not too intrusive. These are very comfortable seats, actually. You have some stitching going on here, but relatively conservative seat. It does have a little pattern there on the side. It's kind of a little bit subtle. I don't know if you can pick that up. Pretty decent amount of legroom here. There's a little bit of tapering going on, but overall it's pretty good. Now there is a hard touch surface under here, a locking glove compartment. Soft open, smooth plastic there on the inside. You can see it's pretty good size. Pretty standard though as far as the type of glove compartment it is. But there's a secondary compartment right here, right in there. So you can put a cell phone or whatever. It actually has, so you can put your phone there, and there's a little wire keeper over here. You can see that. And then you can plug it in or whatever. So you can plug it in and put it here for the passenger. Pretty good idea. Soft touch surfaces here. Kind of rubbery, soft, non-reflective dash, but I like the way it has like this tier system going on here with the vent there in the middle. This one does have the sunroof. So like I mentioned, the entrance here is nice and open, so you're not going to bump your head getting in and out of the vehicle. The height off the ground, from the seat to the ground, is nice. It's like very easy to just hop in and out. So this is excellent with the ground clearance and everything. A vehicle that's easy to get in and out is just really nice. I mean, it's just, I don't know, vehicles that are hard to get in and out just kind of, they take away from the experience anyway, especially if you're getting in and out all the time. So here in the back, there's less opening here. So you can see it's less here. It's kind of like blocked off a little bit right there. The swing of the door could be just a little bit wider, just a little bit more, just to kind of help compensate for the entrance area. But as it is, it's fine. I mean, it opens up at a pretty good amount already. And lots of headroom there. And the inside of the back door, soft touch surfaces here, 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 just like the front. Felt line compartment. This is enclosed. So yeah, this is all good. I like the way it has this place covered up, so if your change or whatever gets dropped here, it's not gonna get underneath the seat, and you can kind of slide your feet in or whatever. And the back seat is basically a bench seat. It does fold down, but basically a bench seat with the armrest and cup holders here in the center. Nice, very soft. And it has the car seat attachments, and they're covered up by this flap. So basically it's like a Velcro flap like that. And then you can access them here, and then you just kind of push it back in place when you're done. And it keeps a nice soft surface when you're not using them, and it looks good, and there's no plastic cover or anything to take off and lose or whatever. Now you notice it has one here, and it has two over there. So depending on how you want to position the seats, you can put them pretty much anywhere in the center area as far as car seat attachments. And the anchors are on the back of the seats. Now these are heated seats back here. It's a two-stage heated seat back here. And check out the legroom. So the seat and the floor is basically like a chair. So the pan that goes down in there quite a ways, so that way your knees aren't sticking up in the air. You have a comfortable position in the back seat. There's a significant hump there in the center. So this is an all-wheel drive vehicle, so it's something to consider. And so yeah, it's not very wide, but it is kind of tall. But yeah, the legroom looks pretty dang good. And there's multiple pockets here on the back of the front seats here. So you have this large mat pocket, then you have this little pocket here, and then a smaller pocket to the left. So if you want to put something, separate your stuff or whatever, you can organize it there. The same thing on both seats here in the back. So there is a USB-C, USB-A, and then your heated seat controls back here, as well as climate vents. The fuel door is here on the passenger side, and it locks with the vehicle. When the vehicle's locked, it's locked. And there's a little latch right there, and it pops out to lock it. But it has a traditional cap and a little tether here, and then a little place to hang the cap while you're pumping gas. Now, something to mention, this you can use regular fuel, but you know, it might be better to use premium fuel. It is designed for regular fuel, but the premium fuel might be a little bit better for longevity. It's something to look into. Looking at the roof racks there, you can see some tie downs on the roof racks themselves. It's pretty cool. And then there is a translucent, I don't know if you can tell, looks kind of translucent, this shark fin antenna. It's like a matte black, but you can kind of tell, you can see through it a little bit. And then you have the third brake light there and the rear spoiler at the top, rear wiper, LED tail lights, for the most part, except for the turn signals. Once again, we'll have to do a night video to make sure everything works good. And then you have the backup camera is here offset for some reason. Wish they would just go ahead and put those in the middle. They're eventually going to put it in the middle, but they keep putting it off for some reason. And then you have the parking sensors back here. You can use the key to open up the power lift gate, or you can press a button, which they did put in the middle. It's not really directly in the middle. That's the thing, neither one of them's kind of in the middle. Wish they would put the button to open it on the right somewhere, and then the camera in the middle. But up here, there's a hard touch surfaces, but there's also a little light right here that you can turn on with the door or have it turn off. That's really nice. I like to see that at nighttime, see how that works. So it comes with this cover. It's like a cloth cover, very interesting. And so it covers up your stuff, keeps things out of sight, but is a multiple use. You can use this to hang over the tailgate or the back of it to kind of sit on the back area. You can use it as a hammock for storage stuff. You can put stuff in it and it'll, kind of like be like a hammock for your stuff. You can also use it as a divider as well. So it's like a multi-function type thing. And also it's cloth. So once you unhook it, you can just ball it up and just put it in a very small place. So it's really easy to get out of the way. Unlike a big, cover this stiff or whatever. This is a really good design, I think, for the most part. It has these like the little magnets going on right here, and they're pretty strong on both sides. Then they unhook, and you see these hooks here, and then here. So you can see the hooks there. You can use those for grocery bags and stuff too. 12-volt power supply here on the right side. There's another hook here, pops out. And then there's a little cubby right here that has a net, which you can push down. If you don't want to use that, you can push this down and use that for space, width or whatever. Like you have a wide object or whatever, you can put it in there. You have tie downs there at the bottom. Now this one has the cargo area, the cargo mat system, which covers up the back seats as well. So let's go ahead and take this side off so you can see what's over here. So yeah, I really like this design where this like a cloth cover, and you can use it for different things. And when you're not using it, you can just kind of like get it out of the way very easily. So the subwoofers on this side, there's tie downs, of course, another hanger, and you have these hangers or tie downs, however you want to call them. There's also these handles to lower the seats here and here. It lowers the back seats. Now under this cargo cover, there is a floor which lifts up. It's not secured, but lifts up. Actually, it does have things that kind of hook in, but you can easily pull them out. But anyways, it's not 100% secure. There's the tools for the spare tire. There's a little bit of extra space. This would be a good spot to put that cover if you want to put it there. Under this, lift up the styrofoam piece, is the spare tire. So it does have a spare tire. Lowering these seats down, if we need some extra space, it's a 60-40 split. So you can see we can fold down one seat or the other. So let's go ahead and pull this lever here, and seat flops down like so. So make sure nothing's in the way, kids or whatever. But now we've added a lot of an additional cargo space while still maintaining passenger space there. So let's say we had a car seat on the other side, we can lower this down, put a huge box in here. But if we want to fold this seat down as well, that one doesn't want to go down as easy. You just have to pull it. There we go. So yeah, they almost go completely flat. This actually would work, probably work, depending on how tall you are, to put like a mattress back here and go camping. There's a pretty good amount of space, and it's fairly flat, not completely flat, but it's connects pretty seamlessly. Decent height as well. Here's a visual showing you the different ways you can use this cover here. Tonneau cover, hammock, partition, or a step cover. Lowering the power lift gate, we can press this button to lock the vehicle, and we're going to press this to lower it. So if we want to go ahead and lock it, we can do that. Let's say we get our groceries out, ready to go in the house, we can lock it right from here. Comes down nice and easy. There's another light here. Curious as to how well that works at night. Let's go ahead and start it up. The floorboard in front of the driver's seat has a floor mat that hooks in place. So there's the accelerator, brake pedal, footrest. Let's take a look under the hood. To raise the hood, there's a latch a little bit to the right of center. It's just right underneath the emblem here. Just reach in, move it to the left, and lift up. So the hood is not super heavy. It's got a little weight to it. It doesn't stay up by itself. You will have to use a prop to hold it up. Here's the prop here, and it swings up to right where that arrow is pointing. You can see there's a latch right there. What you do with it when you release it. All right, so you can see some airflow going into the intercooler here. So this is for the turbocharged system. There's insulation there as well. The firewall is insulated. It's even insulated here on the suspension tower. It's kind of interesting. This is a boxer engine, and if you're not familiar with that, it has, basically it's a flat engine where you have 2 cylinders going this way and 2 cylinders going this way. And so it's a lower center of gravity. It separates the head, so there's better heat dissipation, and the exhaust flows directly underneath the vehicle. So each head has its own exhaust separated, and it goes down underneath the vehicle, so all the heat is transferred that way. And the intake is here on the top. Now this is a turbocharged, so the turbochargers will be down there as well, so all that heat will be flowing underneath the vehicle. Now the battery is easy to get to here. And you see the suspension towers are braced into the unibody structure of the vehicle. This one has the 2.4 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine, boxer engine. And this one has the 260 horsepower and 277 pound-feet of torque. So it's the higher powered engine. Now this is paired to a Lineartronic high torque CVT transmission. And of course, it's an all-wheel drive vehicle, very capable all-wheel drive vehicle, as Subaru is known for. Inside the driver's door is just like the other side, except for it has a few more buttons. Now the blind spot detection system has a little indicator right here, illuminate right there when there's a vehicle in your blind spot, which is different from vehicles that have it in the mirror. So like say if you have a light in the mirror, you can mistake that for something else. So having it separate is nice. Okay, so the power windows are all automatic, one touch up and down, and they are laminated as well. You see the back window there, how far it goes down. Oh, it goes all the way down. Nice. Not laminated back there though. And the side mirrors are adjusted here. You just pick a side by turning it, and then you just adjust it with that little joystick, and you can power fold the side mirrors here. There's 2 presets for the power seat as well. Now the driver's seat is powered, but in addition to going up and down and tilting and all that stuff like the passenger side, it has a 4-way lumbar adjustment as well. So had to one-up the passenger in some way. But also, it has a thigh extension as well. Manual, has a little button right there, and pull it out, push it back in. So yeah, it one-ups in two ways, two ups. To the left of the steering column, it has a button to open up the power lift gate, and then the dimmer switch for the interior gauges is here as well. And then there's a tilt and telescoping steering column where you can lock it in place here. This is just a little access panel to the fuses. I'm sitting in the driver's seat, and I have the driver's seat all the way down and all the way back to give you an idea of the potential legroom here. And this is way too far back for me to drive. I'm 6 feet tall, and it's amazing how far back the seat goes. Now, I'm sure it diminishes the seat room in the back, or the leg room there in the back, but man, I have to move it up a good 4 or 5 inches in order to drive safely. So yeah, the leg room is pretty good. So we have room here on the left and right. Not really anything getting in the way. The angle of the footrest is fine. I have big feet, so the size is a little bit of an issue at the very top, but not really a big deal. But yeah, pretty good. So the steering wheel, it is leather wrapped, and it's heated as well. And it has a stitching that doesn't stick out and get in the way, so it feels comfortable. For my hands, it's the steering wheel is a little bit thinner, but it's still fine. It has a little cushion to it, so yeah, that feels good. The size, if it was small, a little bit on the smaller side like this, and then it was like hard as a rock, that might be a little bit of an issue. But since it has that little cushion in it, it feels good. It feels really good. Now it has the heated steering wheel control there. It's just on or off. Now the cruise control is here on the right side, and these buttons look about the same as they did before. So you can turn on the cruise control, set and resume, cancel, and change the adaptive cruise control distance between you and the vehicle in front of you. I like the way it has two buttons instead of just one, and then the steering assist system here, you can toggle that on or off. Here on the left side is the volume for the radio, change to the tracks, change the audio source, and then you can have, I like the way it has two buttons for answering and hanging up for the phone. So once you pair your Bluetooth, if you get a call, you can answer it, and then there's a separate button for hanging up. That hang up button is also the mute button as well. Voice recognition is here, and then you can cycle through these buttons right here for the screen. We'll get to that in a second. Front and rear wiper controls are over here. It does have an automatic function. And turn signal is here, but it also has a headlight switch, which also has an automatic function. Fog lights are controlled here. So this has a full screen for your gauges, and it looks really good. I mean, the clarity, the sharpness, the colors, all that just looks really nice. It has traditional gauge views there as well. And change the look here using this button, kind of cycle through different looks here. So now I have the navigation view. Press it again. We can go to this view right here. Press it again. We got that view. And then we go back to the dials. Yeah, the dials look good. I mean, all these look good, but sometimes if you want the navigation on right in front of you, let's say you're in an area in which you're not familiar with, you're on a trip, you have a destination set, having the map right there in front of you is nice. Now, if we scroll up and down, you can see it has different information there on this side. So you would have your, the tire pressure will show up there when you start driving, and then your trip, miles per gallon, average miles per gallon, which right now is showing 5 miles per gallon because the vehicle hadn't even left it rolled off the truck and it's brand new. It hadn't left the lot yet. So once you start driving it, it'll be more accurate to normal driving anyway, whatever your radio is doing. So yeah, you have additional information there. But yeah, it's a pretty cool screen. You have outside temperature, digital clock there, engine coolant temperature, then your fuel gauge with your estimated range. And of course, once again, the range will be much better when it's driven normal. And then you have your odometer and trip here. 10 miles is what the vehicle has on it. Volume for the radio is here. All right, so this touchscreen, pretty cool. This is the home screen. Now when you hit the home button there, this is what it's gonna look like. And it has like a split between your radio and navigation and your calls and stuff like that. But if you slide to the left and right, you have, accidentally clicked the map, you have more options. So there's the home screen, but I love the fact that it has the ability to have a large digital clock with the date right there. It's very large and easy to see because sometimes that's what you need to focus on when you're driving. Time is of the essence, right? So being able to have that pop up there, I love that. That's like some vehicles have a little itty bitty clock and it's barely find it, much less see it. This one, you can have that option and it has the date. It tells you the day, Friday, November 21st. It's very clear, easy to see, and I just like that is very, very important to me. All right, let's go over here. We have Apple CarPlay, Android Auto capabilities. You have your My Subaru app that you can have. You can turn the display off if you want. You can add different shortcuts as well. Even has a valet mode. Now you have the icons here on the left side. So this right here will be your navigation map. All right. So you can search here. Kind of zoom in and out so we can, something hit the roof. I think it's one of the trees is dropping its seeds this time of year. All right, so either that or squirrel's throwing something at me. But yeah, there we go, Wilmington, Parkway Subaru in Wilmington, North Carolina. So yeah, a very responsive map here. See how far we can go. Yeah, there we go, we can get the whole earth. That's pretty cool. Sometimes you just got to get your bearings, right? So you got to see the whole earth and the stars around it. But yeah, that's pretty cool. Next one will be your radio or whatever is playing. So you can have your Bluetooth, USB, AM and FM radio, as well as the satellite radio as well. You can pair your phones here, multiple phones, and have them like in a, you know, a priority type system. And you can have access to your contacts, messages, favorites, that kind of stuff. And then last but not least is your settings. Sound settings, profile, eyesight, driving assistance. Because the adaptive cruise control, on the Subaru, it doesn't have a radar adaptive cruise control. It has an eyesight system. It's actually using two cameras in the front. And the cameras are right up here. And you can notice they're kind of cupped. Last couple years, they cupped them to the windshield and secure them a little bit better. But that's where you can, that's the eyesight system in which you can go into the settings for that. You can manage devices, add your Bluetooth devices, that kind of stuff. You can adjust the displays, your phone, vehicle. Let's go into the vehicle settings here so you can get an idea of what's going on. Let's go back out of that. Time and date, we can of course adjust that. Maintenance, keep up with the maintenance, software updates, valet mode, voice assistant, and network connection. So when we're in the home screen here, if we want to add a shortcut, let's say we want to add a setting. Let's go to sound settings, and now we have the sound settings here. So we can add things to the home, which kind of narrows everything down. And then this last button here at the bottom is your driver profile. Now, right now it's set up as a guest, but you can manage the key. Let's say you have two keys and you want to have things set up differently for each individual person. You could do that as well. So it's fairly straightforward. You do have the access to voice recognition there. And so yeah, pretty straightforward system and looks good. The clarity, the resolution, colors, all that look really nice. Has a separate volume knob, I like that. And this right here is essential, being able to access a large, easy to see clock and calendar basically. Another feature this vehicle has is, I'm going to skip a little bit further forward and show you the camera, because when I put it in reverse, you can see the camera here. It pops up. That's normal, right? But this has the 360 camera system. So we have the top-down view, we have the back view, we have the active guidelines there. It shows you your tires and everything. This is excellent. Now you have rear cross traffic alert with braking. So if there's something get too close to a vehicle, something behind you, it'll automatically brake. You can turn that off. Parking sensors, you can turn it off quickly. And then you have these different views here. So let's say we want to change the view to this more wide, super wide view. That's more linear. And then we can see what's on the side of the vehicle right here. So you can see right there is the front wheels. So let's say we're getting close to something, a curb or a rock or whatever it happens to be. We can say razor focused on those wheels and how far they are away from whatever it is. So yeah, that's really cool. Now when we put it in drive, we had the front view. And the reason why I say this is a feature that I really like is that it has an automatic function. So when you automatically start just going very, very slow, like under 5 miles an hour, it just automatically pops up your camera system. So this helps out with parking or creeping next to a curb or whatever. This helps out all the time, having it have the capability to pop up the camera system when you're going slow. I love that. That's one of my recommendations for years, that vehicles do that, because once you get used to that, it's kind of spoils you, right? So other vehicles had it and I got spoiled. So I wanted to have, all vehicles basically do this, especially the ones with the, the top down 360 type camera system, which this has. Now we had the wide view here, more linear view, and then we have this view. We also have this view, which is kind of interesting. It replicates the vehicle, but it gives it more of an angled look so you can see what's in front of you. So yeah, those are the different views there. And of course, let's say we need to look at the screen without the camera. We can always click out the camera if we want to, right? But being able to, when we creep really slow, that popping up on the screen is awesome. I love that. So the four-way flashers are here. And then the climate control and other controls are down here. So the driver and passenger temperatures are here. We can sync those as well if we want. And then we have the fan speed, where we want the air to blow. We can turn the system on or off. Max AC. Now we can have the fans blow just here in the front or for everybody. So front or everybody, right? Toggles between that. Recirculate the air. Now the heated seats are a 3-stage, high, medium, and low. And then the cooled seats are high, medium, and low. And so you can see the color difference there. It uses the same lights, it just changes. Same thing with the driver here. That's the driver, now it's the passenger. You have the front and rear defrosters, recirculate the air, all that stuff. USB-C, USB-A ports, and it has a wireless charger. Now, I had an issue with a Subaru Forester where I put my phone there to charge and it would keep sliding around as I'm driving. But and this is rubberized, it's still rubberized, but it has this little tray around it to keep things from sliding around. So that's excellent. And there's a little status light as well. Love that. So yeah, that looks pretty good. Then you have the cup holders and this little area between it. Arms that spring load. Rubber floor on the bottom of the cup holders. That comes out and you can clean it, put it back in. The shifter is nice. I like the way the cup, accessing the cup holders, the shifter doesn't get in the way. It's right there, so that's good. It has a manual mode as well, so we can put it in manual mode, drive, put it in park, and then there's paddle shifters here, so you can raise and lower the speed ratio. It has a CVT system, but it's basically the same as raising and lowering the gears. It's just a speed ratio instead of a gear ratio. It has the idle stop, which you can turn it off here. It has a brake hold here. They could have an AVW, automatic vehicle hold or whatever, but it has that feature there. This is to quickly turn on the camera, which is great. So having a button to turn it on when you want to use it, and it's very easily accessible. And then you can turn off the traction control for whatever reason. If you need to spin tires, you can turn the traction control off there. Electronic parking brake is here, and you pull up on it to engage it. It engages the rear wheels. And to disengage it, you hold the brake, push down. I like the way it has a little status light. The reason why I mentioned that it engages the rear wheels, there was a Subaru in the past that did engage the drive wheels, and in this case, it was a front-wheel drive vehicle. So it was the, front wheels that were engaged with the parking brake. All right, so there's a little storage area there, 12-volt power supply there as well. So this armrest is soft, very soft and comfortable. Decent size, I suppose. I don't think it's quite big enough to share with the passenger, but me personally anyway. I like the way when you release it, it has a latch and it doesn't rattle. When you release it, you let it go anywhere and it just stays there instead of flapping back down on you. So yeah, that's good. And then the compartment here just has a felt liner in the bottom. There's no connectivity, there's no nothing. Now it does have the places for wires to go in and out of this compartment. So let's say you want to plug in a charger, plug in your phone or plug in a device, and then run the wire into this compartment and put your device in there, out of sight and out of the sun or whatever. You could do that. You could also run the wire in and then back out if you wanted to. But yeah, it's for cable management. Let's say you had a long cable or whatever. But yeah, still wires can go in and out, but there is no plugins in here. Now that little felt lining at the bottom, I'd probably replace that with a lighter colored one, but as it is, it's fine. Now the rear view mirror is also a rear view camera, so it has the mirror functionality. It's auto dimming as well, but it also has the camera, which is what I prefer, so it's excellent. So especially if you have a lot of passengers and cargo behind you, this gives you a direct view behind the vehicle, so that way there's nothing in the way, you know. So you have both, which is great. Now there's a home link garage door opener control on this side, and then there's settings here for the screen on that side. So you can make brightness and adjustment settings there. So right up here is for the sunroof. We also have little tap lights here for reading lights. You can turn on all the interior lights or have them turn on with the door here. So like when you open up the door, right now it's turned off. You can have them turn on. So let's say you just don't want the interior lights. You got a baby sleeping or whatever. You just don't want the interior lights turned on when you open the door. You can turn that feature off. Roadside assistance buttons here, and then you have a place to put your sunglasses or whatever. They kind of have to be some small. You can't have the big Hollywood sunglasses and fit in there, but it does have a place to put them, I suppose. Now the visors are a cloth, a black cloth, just like the headliner, similar to the headliner. And it has a single mirror and a single light there. Now it does have an extension. So like say this slides out like that. It does not slide the whole thing, just that. So, you know, not the best coverage in the world, but sometimes that helps. I mean, it instead of shifting your coverage, it adds to your coverage. So in certain scenarios, that's fine. There's a little clip right there. The sunroof has two buttons, one to slide and one to tilt. And it has a shade that covers 100% of the light, which is nice. And then the sunroof, let's go ahead and slide it back. Press it again. Yeah, it goes a little bit further back when you press it again. And let's go ahead and tilt it up, tilt it down. And I like the way the manual, it's just a manual shade, so you just like takes 1 second to close it and you're not like waiting for it to go like that really slow. Okay, so looking at the visibility. Now, of course, the camera helps out with this, but just looking over your shoulder and everything, the visibility has plenty of windows. So, yeah, the visibility is fine. I don't see any issues there. And also want to mention that these side mirrors are auto dimming side mirrors. So even though you can use the camera here, these side mirrors are still auto dimming. You can see they're auto dimming now because I have shade of the light sensor, which is located here. Anyways, thank you for watching. Thank you to Parkway Subaru here in Wilmington, North Carolina. Parkway has Hyundai, Volvo, and Subaru, and it's like an oasis here in Wilmington. It's like the best dealership. This is the only dealership I go to in Wilmington, and they really go above and beyond. So I'll have their contact information in the description. There will also be tons of more information, a full buyer's guide in the description as well. And if there's more information, I'll add it to a link somewhere else to my website or something, so you can check it out. But hopefully this video has been helpful, and thank you once again for watching. Thank you to Parkway Subaru for providing the vehicle, and see you guys next time.